It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, and we're glad that you're with us here on Indiana in the Morning, always presented by First Commonwealth Bank. 9:13 in the morning. A couple of months ago, we met the folks from something called the Remnant, and we were very, very happy to meet them and learn what their ministry is all about. And back with us this morning from the Remnant Faith Community, Connie Jellison. She got in touch with me the other day. She said we have something cool coming up that maybe folks might want to hear about. And she's with Drew Gordon here this morning as well. And our visit presented by Marcus and Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. You can visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Morning, folks.
Good morning.
It's good to have you both with us here today. Connie, so what is this thing? It's a Bible study /
Book study.
Book study.
So the book is called Subversive Witness by Dominique Dubois-Gilliard.
Come a little bit closer to the microphone, please. There
Sure. And what it is recently went to a conference where this book was recommended to me. Mm-hmm. And it's about leveraging your privilege in order to help other people as people in the Bible did. So it's really great because it focuses on Queen Esther and Moses and his family, his mother, his adoptive mother, and of course Jesus, who was the first to really leverage his privilege in the most major way by coming to earth as a human being. And this book was really powerful to me, and I thought it would be a great tool to use during Black History Month as a commemoration for that, and to just give us some equipment from the Bible and how to do that.
Certainly Queen Esther is the great subject matter for something like that, Drew.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, one of the things that we always find is trying to look deeper into the Bible as far as Christians are concerned. And the story of Esther is just absolutely phenomenal. If you want to get the blunt story on it, VeggieTales. But as far as the background that's being used for the study, it kind of opens up a little more common sense aspect to what was going on with Esther and with some of the other heroes of the Bible.
Yeah, yeah. Connie, as you got into the book, I don't know how much you knew about Esther going in. Maybe you were very well versed in what she was all about. But for folks who don't know about Queen Esther and how it was that she came to be in the position in which she was, how she had to get herself out of some really, really difficult circumstances, tell us about Queen Esther.
So the book actually starts a step back with Queen Vashti, who was the queen originally. And her husband required her to go and dance and expose herself to his friends when they were having a drunken party. And she said, no, thank you. And so he's like, you're out. I need a new queen. Mm-hmm. And so he decided, being the guy that he was, to scan the whole area of all of his kingdoms to find the most beautiful women and have them be brought to him to choose which one would be his wife. And eventually, Esther was chosen. Now, Esther was a Jew, but had hidden that background because it was not something that was accepted and was actually really repressed. And so that her uncle said, don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And then a bad guy decided that he didn't like Jews at all, much of the same vein. And he made it so that the king said he was going to kill everybody that was Jewish. And so then the queen needed to reveal her background. And the big line is from her uncle is, maybe you were chosen for such a time as this.
Yes.
And so this book is powerful. We are chosen for such a time as this, each of us, in the moment that we're living in, to provide the love of God to everyone, and how to do that with using privilege as that vehicle.
Yeah, yeah. And it really is a fascinating story, the way that it unfolds and how the king was actually tricked into issuing this decree. And Drew, as we think about that story and applying it to our lives today, none of us are going to be named the queen.
Right.
And none of us are going to have the circumstance that Esther had in her lifetime. But we're all going to have difficult circumstances to overcome. And we all have been given the opportunity to use the circumstances of our life in a way that maybe we don't expect.
Absolutely. You know, when I joined into ministry, when I heard my call 7 years ago, one of the big things that came across in my head personally was, it's not about me. And when you see these stories and bring them to the people they realize that, hey, this is something much, much bigger. You know, this is for the common good of everyone, maybe not just a necessary few. And, you know, so as far as that story from Esther, you know, she put a lot of difficult situations at this head, but still cared enough for her family to say, these are the people that need to be sharing the goodness. So, yeah, it's just something that has continued to be, for an example, in the back of my mind, quite a bit. Because coming from an old radio background myself, it's kind of difficult to think about that it's not about me scenario. And when you go into the book, you're looking at aspects of not only looking out for your family, but also loving others, as we're all called to do.
Yeah, yeah. Connie, when you were talking about the story of Esther, you mentioned her uncle, Mordecai, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Uncle Mordecai, Uncle Morty, was the guy in her life who was the really trusted advisor, the person that she knew that she could go to help her to understand how she could use her situation and benefit others. It's wonderful if we have people who can do that for us. But if we don't, it's good for us to turn ourselves into that person for someone else, isn't it?
It is. That's what this book does. It just, it's not about shaming, and it's not about, you know, how awful we are. It's about how to really step up into that role for ourselves and to be the people who stand with people so that God's kingdom and God's love is apparent to everyone. It talks about how using your privilege to love people, then growing the kingdom of God through that. It's a really powerful thing. It isn't just about feel-good stuff. You know, ooh, I helped that person. It's about showing the love of Jesus and then them wanting to experience the love of Jesus and then sharing it. It's like, and I told two folks and they told two folks,
Sure.
and it's just multiplying the kingdom of God through this. And it's just really a powerful way of looking at it that I hadn't thought of.
So take me into the study series. When's and where's?
Okay, so it is at the Remnant Faith Community at 480 Old 119 in Indiana, which is basically the Bilo Plaza. We're kind of back on the side there. It's Mondays from 6:30 to 8 p.m. beginning February 3rd, which is this Monday.
This coming Monday.
Yes, and it's 6 weeks. We're meeting in several different ways so people can participate. We're having in person, we're having Zoom, and then we're also doing a asynchronous version where you could do it on Facebook Messenger group. And so you would register with that, and then you would just answer the questions online at your leisure.
On your own time.
Yeah. And then if you want to register, you can go to the remnantumc@gmail.com or the Remnant Faith Community Facebook page. Those are both ways to register.
Now, the book is Subversive Witness.
Yes.
Do people need to have the book in order to do the study?
They do. We have a few at the Remnant that folks can purchase, but you can find it online on a Google search. I found mine. I found it on sale, actually, at 75% off, and that's through February. So go online, and I'm not going to mention the place. I'm not doing a commercial, but do a Google search, and it's cheaper than the usual place that you would go, 75% off. So, and it came very quickly.
All right, there you go. So you can get your hands on the book. You need the book in order to do this study. It starts this coming Monday, so as we always say, get on your pony and get this done. Monday evening, 6:30 to 8 p.m. At the Remnant Faith Community, which is in the Bilo Plaza there on North 4th. So there you go. 6 weeks worth. You can do it asynchronously as well through their Facebook option or do it by Zoom. Wonderful, folks. Anything else folks need to know about this?
Well, not only the aspect of the study, but also the Remnant Faith Community, which is open to folks who feel that they've been turned away from church. And everyone is welcome, and we experience all aspects of various communities in the world that come into us. So
All right.
it's a blessing, and I'm an outsider. So my wife is the associate pastor there. We both serve in churches as well.
There you go. There you go. Looking for a church home? That's a good one to do. All right, folks, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
We appreciate you coming in for the
Thank you,
visit.
Todd.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. 23 and a half after 9 o'clock. We will come up in our next half hour with our Money Matters report. We'll also do the health cycle in the next half hour. We've got Boomer Sports on the way in just a moment as well. AccuWeather tells us today, sun, some clouds, 43 degrees. Then periods of rain tonight will drop down to 36. For tomorrow, cloudy with rain and a high of 48. And guess what, boys and girls? We get to kick the month of January in the butt after that. It goes away. And we get on to something we hope will be a little bit better. After all, spring training's less than 2 weeks away. Saturday is the 1st of February, partly sunny and 34. Groundhog Day on Sunday, cloudy skies and a high temperature then of 44 degrees. In downtown Indiana right now, it is 22. Indiana County 911 this morning is looking okay. Nothing new to report to you there. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. Boomer Sports brought to you by S&T Bank, People Forward Banking.